everybody, I'm Hillary Atkin from the Atkin Report. Welcome to this edition of Hillary's Happy Hour. The Voice continues live as the artists leave it all on the stage in order to remain in the competition. They were asked to perform songs that changed their lives, and through that music, more was revealed about each one of them. Take a look. Oh, Team Legend, Perishita, Kim, and Omar. How are you guys doing tonight?
Good. How are
Good.
you?
Great,
Hillary, you cracked
great.
up, Hillary. You put it on. You put it on.
Thank you, guys. So do you. Omar, let me start with you then. What an incredible performance of In the Name of Love. And you said that song changed your entire path in life. So I'd love to hear a little more about that.
Yeah, a few years ago, I was in a really tough spot where I pushed everybody away and I was dealing with a lot of substance abuse. And, this song came on and it literally talks about, allowing people to help you. And, as much as at that time, I wasn't ready to hear it, wasn't ready to hear people's help and people's advice, but I remember now how many people were there, and I just had to open my eyes to it and open my heart to it, and I just encourage anybody out there, like, you are not alone. I promise you guys, if you feel that you are not alone. If there's someone close by that will be there for you, send you all the positivity and love that I can, and I will help you in any way that I can.
Well, that's great, Omar, but I bet you couldn't even have imagined John Legend being in your life, much less telling the whole nation watching. He wanted people to feel your heart through this performance tonight. And the coaches were all on their feet during your performance. How did you feel after you finished it and got such great feedback?
I'm just grateful for John. I think he's such a great coach for me because, him giving me like musical choices in the rehearsal room, you can instantly hear the heart and the emotion in his voice. And he was just sitting there, and I was like, how do you do that? Just, you immediately turned it on, and it's just, I want to be around him as much as I can because I just want to learn as much as I can, and how intentional he is with everything he does. He's just such a brilliant coach, and I'm grateful to be on Team Legend.
Well, you guys have done great, but let me turn my attention to Kim. And you got a standing ovation when you showed a totally different side of yourself with Always on My Mind. So talk a little bit about the emotions it brought up about your grandmother and her impact on your life.
It brought up quite a bit of emotions. Even when we were talking about the song earlier this week during a band rehearsal day, I never realized how much I had just numbed myself to like the grief of like losing my granny. And so I feel like this has been a week of therapy,
All of us.
So
funny.
Just really being able to pay homage to her one last time. And yeah, this I feel good. I feel good. I feel lighter. And I feel good.
That's beautiful.
That really is. And, Blake expressed it well when he said they heard you in the heavens. And John said you showed so much emotion and you honored the original song. And how did you feel after you got all those amazing comments after your performance of it?
I felt really good because sometimes when it comes to people being vulnerable during songs, sometimes people find those moments of vulnerability to kind of hinder us in a way. But it felt really good to hear the coaches say how much they appreciated seeing that and feeling that. And when stuff is near and dear to us, we want people to feel what we feel. So it meant the world to me to hear that feedback.
Yeah, it was really beautiful. And Parajita, you also got some amazing feedback after you put your own take on an Adele song, which is quite a heavy lift. So tell us how you incorporated some elements of Nepalese culture into it.
I always, I don't know who's going with that. I wore a black sari tonight, and saris are very important in Nepalese culture. You wear it to get married, you wear it to every celebration ever. It's a very beautiful article of clothing, so I was very happy to be able to wear that. And I always feel like I'm in character when I'm in an outfit. I feel it's like, as much as rehearsal and practicing helps, nothing will amount to what comes out of my mouth when I wear a nice outfit and get ready and my hair's done, my makeup's done, and just like, it's another person, and it just like was able to convey the Adele and the emotions in that sari, in that beautiful outfit. So yeah, had a lot of fun doing it.
Well, Parashita, I also loved your jewelry. Like what you were wearing on your hand was gorgeous
Thank
too.
you.
And I felt like an element of the gorgeous costume you wore.
Yeah, not so much a costume, but obviously a part of my culture. And my jewelry was all from Nepal, the bangles and the earrings and everything. I thought the choker was kind of fun and added a little bit of a youthful touch to it, because I don't want to look like an older woman, because mostly saris are worn by the older generation. So I want to make it look youthful, fun, exciting, which is what the jewelry does to it.
Well, all of you guys look youthful, as was mentioned a little while ago. In regards to Omar and Team Legend, you guys are legendary. I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you,
Hillary.
Greetings to Team Gwen, Kiki, Alyssa, and Justin. How are you guys tonight?
Hi. We're back.
We are so back. Hey, Kiki,
Yeah.
I want to start off with you. And you talked about how your band teacher, Mr. Cooper, gave you that song. So tell me more about its meaning for you.
So yeah, he gave me the song as kind of like a I don't know, like a homework assignment almost. Like he wanted me to learn this song, and he was trying to get me to listen to more of the music because he could hear in my voice that my voice was ready for this type of music. My voice was already going that way. It just didn't really have the guiding tools, and he, along with all the amazing musicians he showed me, were the guiding path. They guided me into creating being able to do what I do on that stage, doing things like what I did with Hey On, doing things like what I did with As It Was, all that is because of him and because of the music that he showed me and because of the passion for music that he instilled in me. He really paved the way for me to become the artist I am today. It takes a lot of work and it takes a lot of inspiration, and I would never say that it's all me, because it's not. It is so far from that. It is from every piece of music that's ever been created that I've been able to listen to and take inspiration from all the artists on the show, from everything. It's people like Stevie Wonder, it's people like my band teacher that are the reason that I can do what I do.
What a beautiful shout out to your teacher. I'm sure he really, really appreciates it, Kike. And I wanted to ask you though, feeling any extra pressure performing such an iconic song that everybody knows and making it your own?
Yeah, these are probably the biggest shoes I've ever had to fill, vocally and just musically speaking. Stevie Wonder is the man. If there is a man, it is Stevie Wonder. He creates these compositions that can sound so simple, but are so deeply complex and nuanced. And it was a scary thought singing Stevie Wonder on that stage. But, at the end of the day, art is art. And I'm glad that I was given the opportunity to sing a song by Stevie Wonder on that stage and to share that with all of America, because he's somebody who inspired me so humongously. So to even just put 1% of myself in such a beautiful piece of art is an honor.
Well, thank you, Kike. And I want to ask Justin now. I've got to tell you first, your performance of Break Every Chain is ringing through my head and wanting me to break some chains. So tell me more about how that song helped you through a dark time in your life that you mentioned.
Oh my goodness, that song is so powerful in itself. When it came out, like, you know, it wasn't just I was having a bad day. Like, I was literally, I think, transitioning from my 20s to my 30s. And I was, you know, we can be our own worst critics and, you know, beat ourselves up. And just life was not where I thought it was supposed to be. And I was depressed. Like, I went to work, you know, because I had to pay bills, you know, but I just didn't feel fulfilled. And all my friends were, you know, doing what they set out to do and going all these, you know, doing just different things. And I remember just feeling so low. And, you know, I won't lie, thoughts of suicide did come. And I remember hearing this song, and like 30 seconds in, I was crying. And it wasn't that like pretty cry where you just have tears fall. No, there was snot, there was tears. It was just, you know, and in that song, after the song finished, like, I just felt like this weight had been lifted. I still had work to do, but I just felt like, you know, okay, I can overcome, I can do this. And in that moment, like, chains were breaking in my life. And so that song has just stuck with me from the time that I heard it till now. And so to be able to, you know, share that side of myself with America on tonight was just, it was wow. Like, stuff does not just happen to happen. Like, it was like I was able to share that story of hope. And that's what I pray came across on tonight, was hope.
Well, it was a fantastic way to close out the show. So congratulations. By the way, I love when Gwen told you, you know, kind of think about punk rock too, in some of the way that you're.
Yeah.
And I kind of saw some of that in your performance, which was very, very cool.
Yes,
Justin.
yes. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So Alyssa, I loved your performance of Dreaming of You. And I wanted to ask you how it brought up the emotions of, you know, your grandparents, and when you think about especially your grandfather. So tell me about the support you're receiving now from your family.
Well, I remember just like hearing this song when I was really little, and I always looked up to Selena as like a huge like role model in my life, because we kind of came from like almost the exact same like background, and I just loved how like well that like she wrote as like a writer, like with her family, and I loved how much she loved performing, and I always thought that she's just an absolute like star, and I always wanted to be her. So growing up, I would listen to the song, and my grandpa would always like listen to me sing around the house. He'd call me his little star, so I know that he'd always like wanted me to be a performer, because he knows that it's all like I ever wanted to do. And so singing this song was so special to me, because I literally like, just right before I went on stage, I literally saw his face, and I was like, wow, he's like really like looking down on me right now. And so the song brought out the emotion in the way where that song literally just like makes me think of him. And it always has, like, every single time I've listened to the song, I've always just thought about him and how much I love him and how much I miss him and how I know that he's looking down on me. And all, like, as far as my like family support goes, everybody like is so supportive, and I'm just like really grateful to be here. And this song means like absolutely everything to me, and to be able to sing a song by someone as like beautifully talented and like amazing as Selena is just such an honor, and I'm really grateful.
Well, I'm really grateful to have all you guys here tonight, and wishing you all the best for tomorrow and onwards. Thank you.
Much. Thank you. Have a blessed evening.
Y'all got my girl on here tonight.
Hello.
I love Miss Hillary. Hey.
Hey, Hill.
Hey, guys.
I know I love my girl. I love my girl, Miss Hillary, honey.
Oh, thank you, Eric. Okay, well then, Eric, I have to start off with you then. You showed a completely different side of yourself with your stripped down performance of Can't Help Falling in Love. So tell me more about understanding the lyrics after you said you first fell in love.
Somebody who I fell in love with, and I never thought I would fall in love with anybody. And he was my first love. when I was 22. And after breaking up with me the day I announced being on The Voice, I found myself trying to detach myself from him and the love I had for him. But then I would still find myself one day saying, damn, I still can't help falling in love with you, even though things didn't work out. So that was how I connected with the song and how the song kind of changed my life. Because when I would first sing this song before I even met him, I was like, damn, I'm really jealous of Elvis's lyrics because I'm never going to be able to sing this song and relate to it. But then love came along and it left just as quick. Anyway, Anyway, and I really wanted to show a different side of myself by doing a ballad. I think the only time I ever did anything close to this was Paparazzi, but that was with somebody else. Shout out to Sydney. But I was really excited to just kind of strip it all back, strip it all down, and just show this side of myself and not do anything over the top and not fly across the stage on wings. You know what I'm saying? So I really enjoyed it. Hope America did too. We'll find out tomorrow if they liked it.
Well, Camila said you bared your soul. You were brave and fearless. So, Eric, are you feeling brave and fearless right now
I do feel, you know what? I do feel brave and fearless because I don't care if all of America thought it was the worst thing in the world. I am confident and I feel good that I got on that stage and I was true to myself. Pretty much from start to finish, it was all my idea, and I'm proud of my idea. And I think how can I say it? I think I executed and performed it very well. So I'm happy. Yeah.
Eric? Total agreement here. Loved it.
Thank you so much, Miss Hilly Hill.
You're welcome. So, Devix, your performance was incredible. It was a rock star performance. And Carson thanked you for bringing that to the show. He doesn't normally do that, you know? So how are you feeling about it after it's been over for a little while?
Sure, yeah. It's funny thinking about the after reminds me of what I was going into it with, and I was a little bit scared. It's not the type of song that you typically see on The Voice, so it's a little bit, just scared of how viewers might take it. It's also like Brit pop or like really, really rockish, like indie alternative. So I know it's not a familiar lane for a lot of people, but for the people that it is a familiar lane, it really like takes off typically. So yeah, now that it's all done and said, and I got to watch back a bit, I was really happy about the turnout. I'm obviously we can always make improvements, but I mean that's just kind of the nature of a live show. It's not going to be perfect, but I felt really good about what was, and I felt really awesome just really breaking open for a minute, like regardless of to what extent I took that, it felt so good to just see myself like actually jamming on stage as opposed to my usual I'm just going to stand here at the mic because I can't move and I'm feeling a little bit of afraid of moving around. And it was another level of confidence. I think that also came with wardrobe, so huge thanks to them as well, because I felt like I was not necessarily constrained in the previous ones, but like what I was wearing today was a little, it was very familiar in terms of what I would normally wear to this type of thing, but also like something a little bit new, but still loosey goosey. And that was actually really helpful. Like it really made me feel free. So I was able to utilize that a bit.
Yeah.
Well, Devix, talking about loosey goosey, Camila told you to let loose and have fun. So do you feel that you've taken some of that away? What are some of the things that you've taken away from her aside from that great advice?
From the get-go with her coaching, she's talked about practicing having fun. It's been the biggest thing that stuck with me. And so like I make it a point that when I'm like in my room, sorry Morgan if you hear or feel the vibrations of me stomping around because she's next door, but like I make it a point to really like get into the performance in a really fun way and in a way that excites me, as opposed to, oh, is this going to be good enough, or is this going to be technically proficient, is it going to be pitch perfect, or is it going to be spot on, whatever. I want to be able to also enjoy the experience that I'm giving. And I feel like when you're giving an experience, you're just so much more likely to like want it to be so polished. But in reality, you need to be present in there and kind of pull that energy in. And that's something we're learning a lot with Camila. I feel like she's so good at being present and grounded and herself, and really allowing that to be what's so encapsulating about her as a character. So it's really just cool to be so motivated and inspired by who she is.
Absolutely. And Morgan, you've gotten a lot out of your journey with Camila. So, but I want to hear more about your song choice, If I Were a Boy, and what it means to you.
I mean, I've lived that song in country music. It has been a struggle at least for like a decade. I think women were about 10% of country radio, which dominates our genre. It's not a new conversation. And tonight I felt very, very empowered to represent this message. I mean, it's definitely a conversation that's been going on for a really long time. So many of my friends, I mean, we are trying our best. We are pushing, and we are, and the thing that's so great about Reba is she is like our mother and a pioneer, and she really, really pushes us. The one thing about Reba that's so amazing is she does take the risks as far as like cutting pop songs, with a Kelly Clarkson or a Beyonce song like this. But the one thing that women have in common is the struggle that we all go through that men can't understand. And tonight I just wanted to really, really push that message, because I have lived it. And that's why I kind of was starting to get a little emotional when Camila goes, but you're still here, you're still trying, you're still doing it, and I'm like, you're right, like it takes some muscle, and it takes perseverance and determination, because it's like, yeah, life's not fair, but we have to keep, pushing and trying. And when we band together as women, magical things happen, and it's beautiful. And that bond is so powerful, and in country music, especially, and just women in this industry in music, we know what we go through. And that was what tonight was about.
I completely understand what you're saying, Morgan, but I also wanted to point out that Camila said your performance tonight reminded her of your blind audition of Hallelujah, which of course was a four-chart turn and so stunning. But just thinking back, what are some of the highlights for you on this journey on The Voice?
I love the fact that Camila is really honing in why she won me over as a coach. She goes, Morgan, you're such a distinct lane. You are Morgan. You're not in a box, you're not this, you're not that, you're Morgan. And she loves that about me, which is so refreshing when you've been in such a crazy box of a genre, right? It's a very much a thing. And what's really cool is like, I've really just chosen songs that was based on the message and how it was written, and then just making it my own. And that's why I love when, like, I think it was like playoffs, she called me the truth teller, which is so important to me, to know that I'm just like a vessel of a message, that I'm being genuine, that I can connect with people about what this song is about. It's, to me, I have been ingrained with, it all starts with the song. It all starts with the song. And if it's a well-written song, it doesn't matter what genre. And so I really think that I kind of fell into it, but I've taken this journey of The Voice to really just focus on, what do I want to say? And how do I want to say it? And that's all we can really do. And she has been a coach to accept that approach. And I really appreciate that.
Well, I think all of you have shown us that, and that authenticity. I want to wrap this up by wishing all of you the best. Always a pleasure to speak with you guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hillary.